This is not just another SUV, it's supposed to be Nissan's savior in India. This is the first vehicle from Nissan in quite some time that's over 4 meters in length and will sit in one of India's most competitive vehicle segments. This is the Nissan Tekton. If you think you've seen it before, that's because this is related to the Renault Duster. So it shares quite a lot with the Renault SUV, but there are still a few differentiators with this SUV. And what are those? Let me tell you in this first look video. My name is Amaan Ahmed and you are watching Car and Bike. In case you haven't done it already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon because we're bringing you the latest cars, motorcycles and electric vehicles on this channel. The biggest difference on the outside is at the front because the Tekton has a completely different face compared to the Dusters. With the Renault, you may remember it has the name of the vehicle spelled out boldly on the nose. Here, that has been reversed. You have the Nissan logo big and bold, and you will notice this red stripe that runs across the width of the face, which adds some much needed aggression. I quite like it. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Of course, Nissan has also spelled out the name of the SUV over here. You can see in bold letters. So I'm not sure if this is standard or will be offered as an accessory. Here you will see the LED headlights and they have this L-shaped DRL. There's also a central light bar which Nissan has added and is missing from the Renault. But when you look at the SUV in profile, it's clear that this is related to the Duster because it has the same stance, the same silhouette. It rides on the same sized 18-inch wheels, but of course these wear a different design. One important thing to be talked about is the amount of safety features on the Tekton. You get advanced driver assistance systems. You also get side parking sensors. So it has front, side and rear parking sensors on the top spec model. And it also has disc brakes for all four wheels. You can see it present on this particular model. And on this particular variant, you will find an insert on the flank, which is a nod to the Himalayan region. I am not too sure how I feel about it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. This is one of 6 colors that Nissan will offer with the Tekton. You will also have the option to get a contrast black roof. And at the back, you will see once again the tail light cluster is connected just like on the Renault. But the tail light signature is a little different. On the Duster, you have an arrow-like signature. Here, it's a little more squared off. But for the most part, this looks a lot like the Duster. It's not a bad thing because the Duster is a handsome SUV. But remember that this is not one of the bigger SUVs in this segment. Lengthwise, this comes in at a little over 4.3 meters in length. And you have a 2657 millimeter wheelbase. Let me know what you think of the Tekton's appearance. Do you prefer it over the Dusters? Now it's time to jump inside the Tekton. Inside, unfortunately, the story is a little different. The changes are rather minimal. The first thing you will notice is the different color scheme for the upholstery. Here you have burgundy and cream. This of course is one of 4 options Nissan tells us. We don't yet know what the other options are. And the steering wheel is a little different in the way that it has rose gold accents. I'm not sure how well this will go down with most of the audiences, but let me know what you think of it in the comments. Otherwise, the steering wheel feels exactly the same as in the Duster. The controls too are exactly the same. The dashboard design is also identical to the Dusters. So if you like that, you will like the Tekton's interior as well. The screen size remains the same for the driver's display as well as the infotainment system. And you get 360-degree cameras with the Tekton as well. But the quality is just the same as on the Duster. This reminds me of a webcam from the early 2000s. Other features include front seat ventilation, and what is a differentiator in the segment is the powered front passenger seat. You won't find this in most other compact SUVs. And the other important touch for a lot of buyers now is the panoramic sunroof. You find it on the Duster and it's available on the Tekton as well. This Tekton also features a dash cam and it comes with inbuilt Google, just like you find on the Renault Duster. Now let me quickly jump into the back seats and show you what that's like. Because this is the same size as the Duster, the rear seat space is also the same as you find in the Renault. So taller folks will find themselves a little bit constrained in the backseat, especially if the driver is a little tall. Headroom is good. and there is a slightly better feeling of airiness in this cabin because of the lighter colored upholstery, but I'm not sure how much of a difference that will make on longer journeys. Thankfully, the seat itself is quite comfortable. The seat squab is fairly long. You have a rear armrest with built-in cup holders and a little shelf for you to perhaps place your phone. You have rear AC vents and 2 USB-C ports. Even though you don't get sun blinds at the back, the good thing is that even the center passenger has an adjustable headrest, but the center passenger won't necessarily be too happy because there is a prominent transmission tunnel just like in the Duster. Just like the Duster, the Nissan Tekton 2 has a powered tailgate, and despite being one of the smaller offerings in this segment, it has a pretty large boot. That of course comes at the cost of a little bit of rear seat space. We've had this conversation with Renault as well, where we've seen the company prioritize boot space over rear seat space. My belief is that second row passengers will be pampered by the 3-row models that are coming next year based on the Duster and the Tekton. A benefit of being related to the Renault Duster is what lies under the hood of the Tekton. You get 2 engine options just like with the Duster. You have a 1-litre turbo petrol at the entry level, and you have a 1.3-litre turbo petrol at the top end. The 1-litre turbo petrol is available with a 6-speed manual only, no automatic option. The 1.3-litre can be had with either the 6-speed manual or a 6-speed wet clutch DCT. One way to identify which engine the Tekton has is by looking at the flank, because it has a badge. So the 1-litre car will have a T160 badge, while the 1.3-litre Tekton will have the T280 badge. Now let's quickly talk about the prices. This starts at exactly the same price as the Renault Duster. So your entry variant of the Tekton is priced at 10,49,000 rupees. At the top end, for the fully loaded automatic 1.3-litre turbo petrol, you're paying over 18.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom. So once again, even at the top end, it matches the Duster. And bookings are open for the Tekton today. Deliveries will begin on July 20th. In my view, this is priced competitively given that it's not the biggest SUV in the segment and also not the most feature-rich. But this will certainly have an edge when it comes to driving dynamics, because we've driven the Duster and we know how good that is in terms of its ride and handling as well as its performance. So that is something to look forward to with the Tekton. We'll be driving this really soon, so make sure you're tuned into the channel for the review. But for now, let me know what you think of the Tekton. What do you think of this package? Do you think it looks more appealing than the Renault Duster, or would you still pick the Renault over this? What do you think of the pricing? Do you think it should have been a little bit more aggressive? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed watching this video and found it informative, then remember to give us the thumbs up. And if you know somebody who would be interested in knowing about the Nissan Tekton, then remember to share this video with them.